Good morning. We are up. We did sleep in a little bit. It is day 2 of our trip. We will be going to Freeport today. Brandon's getting dressed and I'm going to go down and go ahead and get some coffee. So this is the morning line for Starbucks. It looks a little intimidating, but I got in it a minute ago just to see how long it would take, and it took me about 5 minutes, so it really wasn't that bad. I will say that in the afternoon, the line will be non-existent usually. And as you see here, everyone is participating in trivia.
Let me guess, you don't know that either.
Who was the youngest elected U.S. president? Probably Bill Clinton.
Kennedy.
I need to brush up on my U.S. history, I guess. Oh, Sheehan's offers a breakfast from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. So we thought we'd try this one today. The first part of my meal is a fruit salad. It looks to have watermelon, orange segments, kiwi, and pineapple. And I think there's some honeydew in there as well. So I ordered the American breakfast, which includes 2 eggs, however you'd like them, bacon or sausage, as well as a choice of bread. And the choices were an English muffin or a bagel or toast. I opted for the English muffin. Brandon got the exact same thing, however he got a bagel for his bread. Today is a port day, so everyone's getting ready to get off the boat in Freeport. Our port arrival time is 11 a.m. and we are supposed to be back on board at 5 p.m. this afternoon. So let's try this again. We are porting in the town of Grand Bahamas. Where are we? I'm editing this out.
We are pulling into the Grand Bahamas at Freeport.
Okay.
We are currently pulling into the Grand Bahamas at Freeport.
All right, let's take 10. We are pulling in to the Grand Bahamas in the town of Freeport. This is an industrial port, as you can tell by all the cargo ships and industry here, and we will actually port right alongside these boats. I'll be honest, it's not one of our favorite destinations. This deck in particular goes all the way around the boat, which is pretty cool because in the front, as you walk around the bow of the ship, it's completely enclosed. I know when we first started cruising, some of the cruise vocabulary I couldn't keep straight, and one of the silly little tricks to remember port and starboard: if you were standing on the ship facing the front, on your left hand side would be port and your right hand side would be starboard. And the way that I remember that is simply PS. Just cut through. We walk from one side of the boat to the other. So now we are on the starboard side. Some people ask when you book a room, what is the best location to pick? And I'll be honest, we have had rooms on every deck of the ship and on every location of the ship. Typically, you have to pick between forward, midship, and aft. I guess there's pros and cons to each. I really can't pick and choose which one will be our favorite. By industry standard, though, they typically say a midship cabin is the best, and something a little higher up is going to be best, especially if you get a tendency to be seasick. So this is what we're going to do today. In Freeport, there's not a whole lot of excursions. Definitely nothing that we're super interested in. So what they're known for is local seafood, but in the water surrounding the restaurant, right there off the front porch area, they do shark feedings. I know in the evening, Brandon said that he thinks they do it twice a day, so when we get over there, we'll definitely look and just verify what they do offer and what times and whatnot. Those colorful buildings is where we are going to turn and port at. If you can see that little inlet right there. So you go through security and you'll scan your card. And the reason why you scan your card is just so they can see who's getting off the boat, so that they can verify who needs to be back on at the end of the day. I'm not quite sure how far the walk is. Did you map it to see how far it is? About a mile. So it's about a mile walk. All sharks aren't super aggressive. However, the ones that I've seen on the videos here, when they feed them, it is like a feeding frenzy. So I got too much size to get in there. I think I'd be too much of a tempting treat. We're gonna look over the edge and maybe throw them a French fry and see if we can find anything. But The restaurant hours, as you can see, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 10. Sundays, 4 to 10. And the shark feeding is only from 7. They do it at 8 and again at 9 p.m. every single day. They're open all holidays except for Christmas. Heck, the views are just worth everything of coming over here. It's always so cool to see these places on a video. And typically it's just the novice video that we like I said, the YouTube channels that we love watching. And then to see that you can actually go there too. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind that you can see that one. I really wish we could be here tonight. Just the videos we've seen, they are hundreds of those. Quite know what you're going to see. So that's Brandon's calamari. Let's see how good it is. My cheese sticks. So we were wrong. Brandon did not order sushi. He got crab tempura with some type of real spicy sauce. So we're not really complainers, but for the sake of transparency on these videos, we wanted to be honest about our thoughts about Pier 1. The environment was cool, seeing the fish were cool. As far as the food goes, it was just kind of mediocre. I had the mozzarella cheese sticks and they were good. Nothing special to write home about. And Brandon liked the calamari, so they were not rubber bandy like some people talk about. But the crab tempura he wasn't a huge fan of. As a matter of fact, he left it there, and that's not like him. So overall, it was a good experience. We're glad we did it. But as far as food goes, I wouldn't come down here just for the food. There's no way you could miss that. We're gonna walk down here. We're not gonna get in the water, obviously, but we wanted to show you the beach anyway. Very rustic, but it's pretty. The rocks. And up over the hill you see our ship. Well worth the experience. At least we came, we saw, we did. That's what life's about. Making those memories. And for us, to be honest with you, kind of overcoming some fear, because when we first started cruising, we were not necessarily afraid to get off the boat, but we wanted to stay right there near it. And if we did any kind of excursion, we always made sure that we did it with the cruise line. And to be fair, the professional answer is to tell you always book with a cruise line, because it's safer in the sense of they guarantee your your return to the ship before it leaves. But we have begun to venture out and kind of do things ourselves with some common sense and timing, and just judging if it's a trustworthy situation, and we've never had any issues. So if you're bold enough to try something new, do it on your own. This is where we are going to enter back into the pier area. And I did check to see before we ever left what items we would need to come and go from here. And the lady at the security desk said that all we needed was our ship's card. This is where we'll go check in at. Thankfully it didn't rain on us. Kind of surprising, because it was raining pretty good when we left the boat. If you are taking a ship-based excursion, the excursions will all meet up right here at the port, kind of in the center area. And the tour guides will have signs that will show you exactly which tour it is. Or some ports they'll have numbers, but regardless, they will have some indication of where you have to be and they will pick you up from here and they will return you here after your excursion is over with. I do have a love of hoodies and sweatshirts, so I came in here just to see what they have and give you some pricing. This one is the Sharky, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but this one's 60 bucks. We did see some of the ones out there in some of the other shops. I mean, that one's 50. We saw some outside in the little vendor area that were about 35, so it's probably going to be better for you if you want to get clothing and trinkets and whatnot to shop through one of those locals instead of this store. So let's see these bracelets. They're like $10, $5. And the beach tchotchkes. Little shot glasses are $6.51. Not quite sure where that penny's going to come from, but or why they charge 1 cent. But that's what the price is. This little Stanley style cup is $14. And t-shirt. This t-shirt is 30 bucks. $18. That's reasonable. And they have bathing suits available if you need one or just want one. And these are, I'm looking at prices, $40, $39. Yeah, they're all from $30 to $40.
It's time to buy you the grandma hats.
There ain't nothing wrong with a grandma hat. And I would buy one, but I don't really like these prints. But just for the sake of a price, they're about $30 a piece. You need one of these. Old Panama Jack. So not to discourage you from shopping in Sharky's, but it looks to me like your prices at the street vendors are going to be much better. So check that out first before you spend your money. So we are on a mission. We met a lady this morning on the boat before we got off who was telling us that she was specifically getting off today to try to find some personal hygiene products. She had forgotten her bag at home. There are some things available in the shops on board. They are a little bit pricey and they didn't have everything she was looking for. So we're on a mission to see if we can spot them out here because that's what she was gonna do. And we couldn't answer the question for her if they have them anywhere. So in answer to that question that we were asked on the boat this morning, they do have some personal hygiene products. Wish we could find her. I'd get her some stuff. Hopefully she had some luck finding it herself. But we scouted it out just in case anybody else has that same issue of forgetting things at home and either the ship store not having it or you just want to see if there's a cheaper option. To get to that store, you get off the boat, you go through the port gate, you take an immediate right in front of the turquoise blue building. Turn around this way. That building right there. And you walk around that pathway around the corner and it is the last store on your left. She called it the ice cream shop. They had a limited selection, but a selection nonetheless. And these are just some different other food venues. Burgers, conch fritters, conch salad, seafood of course. And let's see if they actually have the churros. They got the coconuts. We did try that on the sign. We did try a fresh coconut. Where were we at when you did the coconut? Cozumel? I think it was Cozumel. Brandon had never had it. I had, so I knew what they tasted like, and I didn't never care for it, but I wanted him to experience it. So he bought one, tried it. He didn't care for it either. But it's still cool though. You think of coconut as a brown fuzzy thing, not realizing that they have that green covering to them. little bit of everything. I appreciate the fact that it's not all seafood. Easier to read. Oh yeah, much better.
Yeah, man. All over the world. It's what we need. What we need all over the world, man. One love.
So we did not do a planned excursion today. We just kind of got off to walk around and see what we could see. So we're probably going to head back to the boat here in just a few minutes because this is pretty much it. This is all you're going to see around this port. There's not a whole lot of activity. I mean, it's cool. I would definitely suggest if you've never been here to definitely get off at least once, say you did. But we have pretty much exhausted this port, so we're going to head back here in just a few and see what we can get into on board the boat. So we're making our way back on board the ship. We went through security, which was, well, actually port security, which was just a matter of showing our ship card. Now we have to go through ship security. They will not let me film during this process, but it is just a matter of going up the gangway, presenting your ship card. They will scan the card to verify that you have made it back on board. They will search your bags in the sense of put it on a conveyor belt and scan it for anything. You are prohibited from bringing anything food, agricultural, alcohol, anything else. I think that's about it. So don't try to sneak no alcohol on board. If you decide to purchase alcohol in port, you can bring that back with you, but you have to declare it. And what that means is they will take it from you, they will tag it, they will note which room it goes to, and then typically the night before disembarkation, you will get that back in your stateroom. All right, we're gonna do the buffet tour for the day. This is day 2. Soup offerings today is chicken broth with some type of pasta, as well as a lentil soup. And over here we have a vegetable and pesto sandwich. Looks pretty good, fresh. And this is, they don't have a sign. It looks like pesto is on this as well. So maybe it's just a different kind of bread, I'm not sure. And then the pizza station. And here will be the pasta, same as yesterday. Different pastas, sauces. We have a clam sauce. Just a tomato sauce. Linguine sauce, or linguine noodles. We have the ramen. Soup of the day is beef and vegetable broth with whatever toppings or inclusions you want to add to it. Tacos, looks like some kind of breakfast taco. And twice baked potatoes, those were wonderful. I had those last time. Chicken melt, veal, green peas, mashed potato. I'm not quite sure about that one, but a beef and ale, steamed vegetables, some type of chicken dish. There's no sign on it as either. A grilled fish option. The pepper sandwich, or the Philly cheesesteak. I think I had that. I had that yesterday in the main dining room. It's excellent. Beer battered fish, sausages, turkey schnitzel, and it looks like onions maybe. We have Brussels sprouts and butternut squash, garlic herb crusted tomatoes, strip loin, some horseradish on the side if you like that. Some Mediterranean food. We have hummus, rice stuffed grape leaves, some different types of slaw, potato salad. At the hamburger hot dog area, just like yesterday, fries, mac and cheese, chicken tenders, hot dogs, hamburgers, and then you got your toppings. Your ketchups and your mustards, the drink station, just like yesterday. They have juices, waters, lemon for your water, which is always nice. Coffee is available all day long. And over here is the ice cream area. And today they have strawberry, pistachio, rum raisin, chocolate, vanilla, and macadamia brittle, it says. And the soft serve, along with cones and bowls. Let's go back over here to the Asian section. It's empty now. So we have rices, chicken, lo mein, corn and carrots and soy sauce, fried rice, and General Tso's chicken today. And your fruits, we have apples, oranges. Is that apples? No, it's peaches. We have peaches, whole peaches, and oranges. The Caesar salad, or they call it a ham salad. It looks like a Caesar salad with just ham on it. Have that. Have the charcuterie area. It doesn't say exactly what the meats are, it just says assorted cold cuts. So looks like some hams, some kind of salami maybe, and then the cheeses. Different cheeses. And then the bread area. I got baguettes, cranberry bread, wheat and honey bread, and the traditional salad bar. I'm not gonna go step on top of those people, but it's just your traditional salad fixings. So, one of my favorite spots. We have chocolate pudding, blueberry streusel, mocha cake, a vanilla cheesecake, some fresh fruit selections, blueberry strudel, jellos, different colored jellos. Kids love that. More cheesecake, a mocha cake. And we got your pound cakes, banana breads. Bread pudding today instead of the rice pudding. We have some mixed fruits, white chocolate mousse. Good. You're good. You're good. Shamrock cake, more jellos, mousses, cherry cake. It's pretty tasty. A coconut pudding. And there's a close-up of that shamrock cake. That's kind of cute. In honor of St. Patty's Day. Walk down this aisle and I can show you what the chairs, tables, and the booths look like. So you got these circular booths. And you have tables on this side overlooking the water or the port, wherever you might be. So as you can see, there's lots of open areas. It's not like you have to fight for seating anywhere. Excuse me. And one of our most favorite areas on board this whole ship is off the aft side. It is the very back of the ship. There's lots of tables and chairs. It's got beautiful views, especially at the wake when we're underway. And out here, they also have food. They serve it breakfast, lunch, and I'll be honest, I can't remember if they do dinner, so I'll have to come back out here later on and check to see if they serve dinner out here. It's gonna be the same kinds of things that's available on the inside. However, it's just quieter, and seating is, not that it was a struggle to get chairs inside, but seating is just a different style. Got the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the chicken, the toppings. There's no lines back here, which is nice. Got roasted chicken, vegetables, fish. There's green pea, mashed potatoes, rice, and some different dessert options. I didn't see that pistachio mousse on the inside. And then we got the blueberry crumble pie. I think they had that. And then the banana cake and the vanilla pound cake and some fruit over there. There's a drink station out here as well, and a soft serve ice cream area. This is probably one of the most, if not the most, hopping spots on a cruise ship. This is where you're gonna find all the pools, the hot tubs. Not necessarily all of them, because there'll be some spread out other places, but there will definitely be a pool and hot tubs on this deck on most all cruise ships, as well as entertainment, either live or recorded. There's usually some food offerings, usually bar, grill type food offerings, hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos, that kind of thing. And a bar, and there is a bar. It's up underneath here, so you really can't see it from here. But they provide covered shaded areas, as well as loungers in the sun if you like to do that. And I love the gym. They have tables with umbrellas. We are definitely umbrella people. And I just have to say, if you've made it this far in my video, thank you. This is all new to the Kincaids. We just took the hobby of ours and turned it into, I don't know, not necessarily a more serious hobby, but just something that we're having fun with. This is by no means a full-time job or a full-time aspiration. This is just something to do, and something that I hope with the little few viewers, subscribers that I have, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. You know, you seriously do not know what it means to me, because there's a lot of work that goes into these recordings, and more so the editing and critiquing myself, and at times doubting myself, wanting to kind of hang up the hat, but just the few little likes and the few little comments I've gotten, it means a lot. So, thanks again. My hubby, my traveling buddy, my best friend. Our favorite places to go at all hours of the day and night. This is pretty much the general feel of what it feels like back here. Very peaceful. Not a bunch of loud music as you saw or heard in the Lido area. This is more our style. That's the thing about cruising. Every ship offers different opportunities for whatever you want to make it to be. It does not always have to be a party atmosphere. It's just wherever and whatever you want to do. There's places for it all. So our day in Freeport is coming to a close, and we are now awaiting sail away party. We're supposed to leave at 5. Looks like the gangways are up and the ropes are being taken off now. So it won't be long, we'll be pulling out of here and headed to our next destination, which will be Great Stirrup Cay tomorrow. One of my favorite things is hearing the big horn blow. When you hear that noise, you know that the ship is about to head out again into the open water, ready for the next adventure. Tomorrow our port is Great Stirrup Cay, like I said. It is a little further south. I'm hoping that it warms up and that the water's warm enough for me to get in. Brandon will pretty much swim in ice water, but I can't. And I'm going to be slightly disappointed if I don't get to snorkel tomorrow, so we'll see. In all honesty, this band is probably one of the best bands I have ever heard on land or at sea. 5 o'clock mojito time. There we go. So that turbulence you see down there in the water is the thrusters. That's what they use to push us away from the pier. There are forward and reverse thrusters. And funny story, our last cruise on the Gem was last November, and we did a guaranteed room. So they picked our room for us, and it was the most forward, lowest deck room available on the ship. And I'm going to be honest, there is no such thing as a bad cruise room, but that was the loudest cruise room we have ever had. It was kind of funny. The first time we heard it, we had no idea what in the world was going on, but it turns out it was the thrusters. And there we're moving. We got used to it as the week progressed, and luckily the noise only occurs when we're trying to either go into a pier or push away from a pier, so it wasn't like a continual thing. That boat is the pilot boat. That pilot lives here on the island. He is what I would say is the specialist for this port. He knows the highs and the lows. He knows where the ships should navigate safely to get out of this little harbor. And instead of our ship's captain navigating this ship out into the open water, the pilot does that. So how that happens is he boards the boat while we're at the pier, and he will sail or navigate this ship out into open water, and when we get a safe distance away, he will then climb back on board that pilot boat. And the way he does that is there will be an opening on the side of the boat. They will open a little, like a hatch door, and he will climb on board that pilot boat, because they're gonna, hopefully we're in a good position to see it. He will get as close to the ship as possible, and that pilot will have to climb from our ship onto his little bitty boat. He's inching a little bit closer. So as you see, he's pulling away. He scooted real close to the ship, picked up the pilot, and now they're jetting away. A lot of new cruisers think that the ocean has swells like some of those reality TV shows you see about fishing boats. It's really not like that. This water is just about as smooth as a lake. And this is about the speed we go most of the time. Maybe a little bit faster, but by no means are we racing across the ocean and, the bow of the boat going under the water and, the waves washing over the stern, nothing like that. My husband, I should nickname him Magellan, because while on board a cruise, he has a couple fascinations. One of which is Cruise Mapper, which I guess I probably need to tell you guys about. It is a website, it's not an app, it's just a website that you can go on and you can look all across the world and see any, who is that?
Norwegian Encore.
The Norwegian Encores who's out there right now.
That'd be cool as shit if we could get close to it.
Yeah. Well,
And the Mardi Gras.
hold on, he's navigating.
Mardi Gras over there in front of us.
To our left on the port side. We learned about port and starboard today. Hope you guys did your homework.
Yep, because there's access right in front of us all. Mardi Gras to the left of us, we might be able to see.
I see something way out there. It looks like we're like headed like forward. It doesn't look sideways. I'm not sure. Anyway, back to my story about Brandon. Mr. Magellan, he loves this cruise mapper thing. He pulls it up all the time, and what it shows is any maritime vessel, big, small, cargo ship, cruise ship, you name it. If they're on like their registry of what's on the ocean, they will plot on the map as a colorful triangle, and you can zoom in, zoom out. You can see, a continent. You can see a coastline on a particular state. You can zoom in on exactly where you are, and it will show you every ship that's surrounding you. So he loves that. And second to that, he absolutely loves the cruise man porn. It's the navigational map that is specific just to your cruise. That's displayed in your room and also on some little consoles or TVs or whatever spread out over the ship. And it gives you information about your location. It puts a map up. It will show you your nautical miles and your knots and distances and all the things. And he just absolutely loves watching that. I mean, I will literally catch him with that on, just watching it. The Stardust Theater is a show venue that will have a variety of offerings during your cruise. It is a beautiful theater with plenty of comfortable seating options. There was balcony, floor, handicap seats. Unlike other cruise lines, there was not a long line outside of the venue to secure a seat. We literally just arrived shortly before the show was to begin and had no issues finding a spot. Tonight's show was called Blazin' Boots. It had all the top hits in country music. The costuming and set was amazing, and when I say the singers and dancers were phenomenal, that is no exaggeration. We saw this show last November and loved it so very much that we decided that we wanted to see it again. And to be quite honest with you, I could watch it a third and fourth time. It was just that good. The shows typically last about 45 minutes to an hour, and you were on the edge of your seat during the entire performance. Some of the other shows that will be seen this week will be, of course, other musicals, as well as some comedy, both adult and family-oriented comedy. Everything we saw here this particular cruise was utterly amazing. Definitely check it out on your next Norwegian Gem cruise. So where do I even begin? It is 11:30, which is much better than we did last night. Last night was like 7:30 when we went to bed. We have been super busy today. Had a wonderful day in Freeport. We explored a little bit. Went to a restaurant there we had always been curious about. Did some shopping, didn't buy anything, but we did browse. Came back on the ship, had several meals, had several drinks. Saw several music venues, had a great time, and just to rehash dinner, I have to look at my list here. I will show you pictures of the things that we picked out. Brandon had the lobster cheese ravioli. He said it was super. I had the French onion soup. It was great, which of course it always is. He also had the twin lobster tails. That was an upcharge of $25, but as you see in the picture, they were pretty decent size, and he definitely loved that. And I had the bacon and bourbon glazed chicken breast. It was basically like a baked chicken breast with like a barbecue sauce on it, but it was really, really good. And we both had the After 8 mint chocolate mousse. It was good, but a lot after all that meal. So we had about half of it each, and we enjoyed it, but could not finish it for sure. And with dinner, they offer a bread service. We had that as well. So tomorrow we are going to be in Great Stirrup Cay from I think 8 a.m. until I'm not quite sure. So we're going to get some sleep tonight so we can be ready for tomorrow, and we can show you all the adventures that we have then. So good night. See you later.